Hello everyone and welcome to Best Friends Dog and Puppy Advice. This is a video on flea and worm prevention. So just to get straight into it, well, this time of year with the warmer weather, we get a lot of inquiries from people that have, their dogs have already been infested with fleas. But this can happen all year round. So what you need to do is you need to use flea and worm prevention all year round. It doesn't matter with the weather, because in the hotter weather they can thrive and the infestation can get pretty bad. But bear in mind that in countries like Ireland and England, where we use central heating during the winter, the fleas can also thrive during the winter in the home. So it is best to use flea prevention all year round. So flea preventions will normally last a month. So that means every month you should treat your dogs with a flea prevention. So I'll start off with puppies first of all. So with puppies, all puppies are usually born with worms. The worms are passed on from their mother. So most dogs would have larvae dormant inside them, and the things that would activate that larvae would be pregnancy or certain illnesses and stuff. And then so with a pregnant bitch, she will the worms will be activated, and then she passes them on to her puppies. So most puppies are going to be born with worms, intestinal worms. So it's very important that they start getting treated from a very early age. So if you've just gotten a new puppy or you're thinking of getting a new puppy, just make sure that you're asking the breeder or the rescue, has the puppy been treated for worms? And normally they will already tell you this. They'll already give you any kind of treatment or vaccinations the puppy has had. They'll give you a little booklet with all these records, but that's not always the case. So just make sure you ask, and then you'll know where you need to pick up or start off from. So with puppies, they're going to need to be wormed more frequently than an adult dog. So it can depend on the type of worming treatment that you're giving them. So there's different types of brands. So there's like Drontal, there's Parazol, Advocate. So there's lots of different brands. So just always read the packaging, or ask the person that in the pet store or in the vets how often you should give it. They'll usually tell you, but if they don't, always ask. So generally it's kind of every fortnight until they're about 3 months old, then every month until they're 6 months old, and then after 6 months old it will be every 3 months all year round then for the rest of their life. So that's with worming. Flea prevention from 8 weeks old, you can get it does also depend on the weight of the dog. If the dog is really, really small, just make sure that you're getting the right one. So in a vet, they will give you a flea prevention for a young puppy. If the puppy is very, very small, they probably won't. So they'll advise you of all that. When you go to get your puppy vaccinated, they'll usually run through all of this with you, but it's just good for you to know how it all works. So flea prevention is every month all year round for all dogs. Worming for adult dogs is every 3 months all year round. And for puppies, every 2 weeks until 3 months, every month until 6 months, and then every 3 months thereafter. Again, this can vary from brand to brand, so just always make sure that you read the pamphlet that's inside the packaging with your worm prevention. So which ones to choose? There's so many different ones out there, and it's basically you just need to know what to look out for. So I'll start with the worming. So you can get treatments in, I think, supermarkets, you can get them in pet stores, and you can get them in the vets as well. There's different brands, and some are better than others. So me personally, I would rather get it from the vet. What they use is, it's always going to be, the best quality. They can give you all the advice along with it as well. So if you can't get to a vet, you can get usually Drontal or Parasol in a pet store. The Drontal would be a tablet. It does come in a liquid form for puppies as well, and the Parasol would be a liquid form. They probably do a tablet as well, but I haven't come across one in a pet store. So the liquid is good if you're treating a lot of dogs, or if they're really, really young and you need to give it to them, mixed in with food, or just squirt it into the mouth. So that can be a lot easier to use in those situations. If your dog is not good with taking tablets and worm tablets and stuff, there's a thing called Easy Pill, and you can get it in pet stores. It's just like in a little package, and it feels like Play-Doh, but you can just pull a bit off, put the tablet in, squish it in, and then give it to them as a treat. And it has a nice smell and nice flavour off it, so they should eat it for you that way. So with flea prevention, we have Primrose here saying hello. So with flea prevention, again, there's a lot of different brands, there's lots of different ones, and the main thing is just to know what to look out for. So with flea prevention, sorry about that, Pierre decided to have a little bark at a little dog walking by, so I just had to pause the video for a second there. So what was I saying? Flea prevention, there's loads of different things. You'll come across spot on treatments that go on the back of the neck. You'll come across flea collars, you'll come across flea sprays, you'll come across flea shampoos. So there's loads of different things, and you're probably going to be confused as to what to use. The best thing to use is a flea prevention that is going to kill and repel fleas. So that way, if your dog does have fleas and you're not sure whether they have fleas, you know that if there's any parasites or fleas on the dog, they'll be killed, and it will repel them for a month as well. So I'm just going to show you here. I use Advocate. Okay, Advocate is a flea and worm prevention. It treats a range of different parasites and worms. So fleas, ear mites, all different types of intestinal worms. So for me, it's really good because it's one thing. I only have to think about one thing to treat everything. And I get a 3-month supply for each dog in one go. So I'll just open it up here. I've already used these ones. So it's just a little tube like this. Obviously this is tiny because my dogs are small. So it's a little tube like that, and you just open it up, pierce it, and then you part the hair on the back of the neck, and you squirt the liquid directly onto the skin. And that will kill and repel fleas and worms for a month. So I get that in my vets, so I definitely would recommend that. I can say that I've never had to deal with fleas with my 2 dogs that I have now, because they get Advocate every month all year round. And that would be one of my main bits of advice that I want to give you today. Prevention is always better than reacting to the problem and trying to fix it after, when it's too late and there's an infestation there. It's quite difficult to treat an infestation in the home when it's gotten out of hand. So to prevent that and to avoid that from happening, you're best off giving your dog a flea prevention every month all year round. So that's the one I use because it's really good. It's from the vets. It kills and repels, and it covers worms as well, all in one. In supermarkets and pet stores and stuff, you'll find ones that just say Spot On. One brand is BFR. You'll see Spot On. Just bear in mind, when you see that, on the front of the packet it says repels fleas. So it will repel fleas, but it probably won't kill them. If the dog is already infested with fleas, it's not going to do the job for you. So it's just not that good. It's not as good. It's fine if you know your dog definitely doesn't have fleas. If, say for example, my dogs get Advocate every month. I know they don't have fleas, and I don't know, I can't get to the vets to get Advocate. If I got a Spot On flea repellent, then it'll do the job. It'll keep them at bay. So it's okay for that, but to treat an infestation, I wouldn't use it. Flea collars are, they can treat an infestation. Some of them will also repel for, a couple of months maybe as well. But again, it might not actually do the full job for you. I would hear from a lot of people, they got a flea collar and the dog still has fleas and stuff. So, I'm yet to come across one that's really good. The other things then that you would come across would be shampoos. Just watch out for flea shampoos. Some of them don't actually treat flea infestations. They don't kill fleas. What they do is they help to remove fleas after being treated for. So say for example my dog had fleas and I treated him for the fleas with, say, Advocate, killed the fleas, then I can go in with a flea shampoo to help to wash them, the fleas and the eggs and larvae out, and help to, with a flea comb, help to comb the dead ones out. So just be aware of that when you're going for flea shampoos. If the dog's infested with fleas, not all of them actually will treat an infestation. So you need to check the back of the bottle and read the instructions for those. You'll come across flea sprays where you just spray the dog. Again, there's too much room for, oh, have I missed a spot and stuff like that, and you mightn't get everything. So for me, the easiest and most effective treatment is a good quality flea prevention from your vets. In a pet store, they will have one as another one. So the vets usually get Advocate. In some pet stores, they might be licensed to sell one called Parex. Parex is just as good as Advocate, but it's just for fleas and ticks, so it doesn't cover worms. So if it's just fleas and ticks you want to cover, then it is really good. And just ask them, because most of the time they won't have it out on their shelves. They'll have it behind the counter. So you need to ask them behind the counter for it. But it won't cover worms. So again, that's another reason why I choose Advocate, because it just covers everything. For me, it's less things to think about. So that will bring me on to the next thing. I have a plan with my vets, my local vets, and it's a healthcare plan. It's €15 a month for each dog, and that covers their flea and worm prevention all year round, a free vet visit for each dog, and it includes their yearly booster vaccinations as well. So it's a really good deal. You can save your money, but also what's great about it is you get your reminder to say you're due to collect your flea and worm prevention for your dog. They give you a 3-month supply for each dog at a time. So to me, inconvenience for me is it just puts me off stuff. So that's what I like about the vets. It's just a lot more convenient. for me. So just check out with your vets if they do like a plan where you can actually sign up and sign up to get a flea and worm prevention plan with them. So that is that. So with regards to, like, let's just say it's too late, okay? You're watching this video now, your dog already has fleas. What I would recommend you do is go to your vets, get some Advocate or whatever flea prevention they have there, or if you are in a pet store, ask them if they have Parex. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to treat all of the pets that you have at home, so cats, dogs, whatever. You'll have to treat them all for fleas. If the infestation is particularly bad, there's fumigators that you can get. So there's different brands, Johnson's, BFR, they do different fumigators. You can buy them in pet stores and online. And what they will do is they will help to get rid of the infestation at home. Just make sure you follow the instructions. With flea fumigators, you will have to leave the home for about 2 hours and take the pets out of the home. And it will give you the instructions on the back what you need to do then for activating it. But that will help to treat an infestation in the home. So what I mean by that is you're getting itchy, you're getting bites, you can see them on the bed, you're starting to notice them around. That's an infestation in your home. You need to treat that then with a fumigator. If it's even worse than that, then you'd probably have to get on to pest control. So to avoid all of that, just probably use flea prevention all year round, and then you don't have to deal with that. So how much do these things cost? It does depend on the weight of your dog. So for me, I've 2 small breeds, they're under 10 kilos. So for me, it's like that, it's €15 for each dog every month. And that's for flea and worm prevention. So obviously the larger the dog that you have, the dearer it's going to be. So the prices can differ from brand to brand, and from vets to vets, pet stores to pet stores. So you just need to be aware that it's going to be a different price for everybody, because everybody has different sized dogs and, you know, different products available to them. But generally for worming, if you're just using worm tablets, generally for worming a small dog, for like one treatment would be probably around €5-6, and it would go up to about €6 or €7-8 for a larger dog. But that's like one worm tablet, you know. So again, that's what I mean. If you're using Advocate, it's covering worms and flea prevention. So it's going to be a different price. So I can't really give you an exact cost on that. So that's pretty much it. So in a nutshell, dogs need to be wormed. Adult dogs need to be wormed every 3 months all year round. Puppies need to be wormed a lot more frequently until they're 6 months, and then it's 3 months after that all year round. All dogs, all shapes, sizes and age, need flea prevention every month all year round. So just go to your local vet or inquire in your local pet store if you need any advice on this and what ones to choose. But like I say, I would always choose one that's going to kill and repel fleas, and that will also protect them from intestinal worms as well, all in one go. So that is it. If you have any questions on any of this, or if you think I left something out, just pop it in the comments below there on Facebook, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.